Given this huge rally, did you make a mistake by not betting more the night of the election?
Yeah, I did. I was going to say that I'm happy that I did buy that night. I'm sad that I didn't buy a lot more. So, but playing the market and trading is a very difficult endeavor. Very few, if any, can do it, and you're never going to be right all the time, and that's not what I do anyway. So,
how much of this rally, Carl, is a reaction directly to the election? Because the economy had been strong, the market had been strong ahead of it. How much is this about the president-elect?
Yeah, no, I think it's completely related. It's related to Trump and the way he's handled it and spoke. And the world believes that things are going to be very bright. Now, is that the case? There are many problems ahead. There are going to be many bumps in the road, but I think Donald is completely on the right track in the things he's trying to do. But obviously, it's going to be difficult to do a lot of them, and there's going to be bumps on the road there.
We have seen him taking on individual companies. This week, it was Boeing for the $4 billion price tag that he said that the new Air Force One will cost. But President Obama, as you well know, Carl, has been criticized by some for being what they call anti-business, for those comments he made about Wall Street compensation, using the term fat cats. Over the past year, we've seen Donald Trump taking on numerous American companies, Carrier, Boeing, Rexnord. At what point does that become anti-business?
Yeah, look, I think the big picture is much more important. I think what Donald is trying to convey is quite the opposite of what you just said. I don't say you're saying it wrong. I think what he's trying to convey is that we're really going to be more friendly with business. The government is not going to fight business. And I think in interpreting what he's doing, at least from my way of looking at it, is, well, he says to Carrier, don't leave, things are going to change. And that is a good thing. And what you have to be doing in this country is showing business and having business perceive that the government is not your enemy, it's your friend. And if it's your friend, it's not going to have crazy regulations. It was something, I'm involved with Donald as part of, behind the scenes kind of, interviewing some of these guys to go into the regulatory arena. And so I look at it that what he's trying to convey, and I think is conveying, that we are going to do things to stimulate business and help them invest, because you want business to invest.
Okay, we're going to get to some of these picks that Donald Trump has made for his team in a moment, because I know you've been integral in some of those decisions. But on business, let's talk about the Carrier deal in Indiana. The president-elect tweeted this week, if United Steelworkers 1999 was any good, they would have kept those jobs in Indiana, spending more time working, less time talking, reduced dues. Do you think he's correct to blame the union for losing those jobs?
I am no expert on Carrier. But I will tell you, and I have a lot of companies and many unionized, and many unions we have good relations with, but the unions can be very difficult at times, and we found that. So I think Donald is sort of saying that. So I'm not anti-union, but you can't tell me that some unions haven't really made the life of the businessman very difficult.
Do you think that this presidency will be the beginning of the end for many unions in America?
I don't necessarily think that, no. But I do think that in many cases the NLRB has been way too lax and way too much on the side of the union.
Donald Trump has also tweeted about and talked about a company just a mile down the road from Carrier in Indiana named Rexnord. They're laying off 300 workers. Those jobs are going to Mexico. The Vice President-elect Mike Pence said recently, look, we as an administration are going to take it day by day in terms of singling out these companies. Do you think that that is the way they should go about it when he is the president? Can you do that, Carl?
I personally think, this is my own personal opinion, that you're shall I say, emphasizing the wrong thing here. That's my own personal opinion now. That and watching the scene, we're emphasizing the wrong thing. I think Donald is basically. I know it sounds a little anti-intuitive here, but what Donald has been doing by and large, and this is why the market is going up. I mean, the market's not going up because Donald has gone and kept Carrier from going to Mexico. The market is going up, and maybe it's got ahead of itself, and I am not going to say it hasn't, but it is going up because it's perceived that this is going to be a very pro-business presidency and government. And
do you think the market is a little bit ahead of itself right now, Carl?
I personally, look, I want to be the first to say that nobody can really pick what the market's going to do. It's sort of a fool's errand. I mean, it's almost like picking what the dice thrower is going to throw in Vegas on the next shoot. But,
yeah, but you can try.
But you can try. So everybody tries. You know, you've been around like me a long time. You feel you have some good instincts. But I will tell you, when I go tell you next week what the market's going to do, it's almost sort of worthless.
All right, let me put it this way: are you buying right now? Let me ask you, Carl, are you buying today?
I have a very hedged portfolio. I really don't play the market, or try not to play the market.
Yeah.
So I have a hedge on. You know, I buy stocks that I like a lot, and then I short others that I don't like. So
all right, let me ask you this.
So if you say I'm buying certain things, I'm selling certain things.
Okay.
I'm not a trader. We have a huge portfolio that we had. So, but if you're asking me my opinion, I do think that, and that's just my opinion, that it's gone too far. And I think the reason is that I mean, there's a couple of reasons. One, when it's perceived that your taxes are going to be a lot less next year, obviously you look at it and say, well, why don't I wait till January 1st to sell or January 3rd to sell? You know, why sell it now? You know, if I believe my taxes, I mean, I'm talking about middle America now. I'm talking about certain pension funds. Well, not pension funds, they don't pay tax, but, you know, certain investors are saying, hey, look, why should I sell now when I can save, you know, let's say it's even whether it's up or down now, when I can save a lot of money by waiting until next year. So what happens is that a lot of stock is not offered, and therefore it's very thin, and you see this money pouring into ETFs. And, you know, ETFs, to some extent, are mindless, right? I mean, you're just buying an average. You're not doing any analysis, you know. People, I mean, I don't blame the guy that runs the ETF. People give money to them. They just buy the index. So there's a lot of reasons for it going up at this moment in time, which might change on a dime. However, I'm not telling anybody here not to buy stocks or to buy stocks. I personally think it's a little overdone, but that doesn't mean very much.